Eskandre hot spotlight. Trump poised to unleash destruction on Iran and the deadly silence of the South Korean administration before the impending tragedy. The story opens in an atmosphere of suffocating tension as President Donald Trump issued weighty warnings regarding Iran. He declared that he is considering very strong options and a momentous decision is about to be made. The phrase strong options was emphasized repeatedly, indicating this is not an empty threat, but preparation for actual military action. Trump revealed that he is receiving hourly updates on the situation, proving that the urgency has reached its peak and the countdown clock for a full-scale war has begun ticking. We can feel the heat radiating from the Oval Office to the rest of the world as a historic decision will be made very soon. According to information from journalist Jim Cummings, right aboard Air Force One, Trump made explosive remarks to the media. A highly valuable detail revealed is that the Iranian leadership directly called Trump the previous day to propose negotiations. However, although Trump always wants to negotiate, he asserted that before any dialogue takes place, he is forced to act first to respond to the current situation. That situation involves reports that approximately 2,000 people have been massacred in Iran, although the official figure is only about 160 or 170 people. Suspicions that the actual number reaches into the thousands have stirred the conscience of humanity. It is this bloodbath that motivates Trump to believe a preemptive military strike targeting Iran's main forces is necessary before sitting at the negotiating table. Analyzing the international situation deeper, Jim Cummings assessed that the risk of war breaking out in Iran has risen very high, and the world is holding its breath. The U.S. ambassador to Israel has even declared that Israel could conduct independent military operations. This is no longer ordinary diplomatic tension, but a stage of risk management on the threshold of armed conflict. The clearest evidence for this assessment is the strange and hasty moves by Russia. In less than 24 hours from January 6th to January 8th, Russia conducted 3 consecutive flights to urgently evacuate civil servants, officials, and their families from Israel. Russia's prioritization of withdrawing its management team, rather than ordinary tourists, is seen as a standard indicator that their intelligence agency has smelled gunpowder and determined this is a maximum danger zone about to suffer large-scale airstrikes. It is not just Russia. On January 10th, the Yemeni government also announced it had completed the evacuation of all foreign tourists stranded on Socotra Island. More than 600 multinational tourists were transported to King Abdullah's international airport in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for consecutive flights. Looking broadly at the international landscape, we see a large-scale exodus taking place. China, Japan, Taiwan, and Thailand are all mobilizing planes and buses to bring their citizens home. Specifically, Brazil has identified over 10,000 citizens residing in Iran and is deploying evacuation flights. Argentina and Uruguay are not standing on the sidelines, quickly mobilizing means to rescue citizens. This simultaneous action by nations from Asia to Europe and Latin America shows they all share a common assessment. The powder keg in the Middle East is about to explode. However, amidst this bustling and anxious picture of the whole world, there exists a terrifying paradox named South Korea. Jim Cummings and host Seong Chang-jeong both expressed astonishment and outrage upon seeing the South Korean government remain silent. As of January 12th, there has still been no official announcement regarding the evacuation of South Korean citizens or officials in the danger zone, while friendly nations are racing against time to protect people's lives. The administration referred to as the Lee Jae-myung administration has only stopped at the level of safety recommendations and travel warnings. This delay and indifference forced people to question the capability and responsibility of the South Korean diplomatic apparatus when facing a crisis. Are they being too subjective, or are they simply paralyzed before the rapidly unfolding events? Returning to Iran, we see the cunning in their tactics. On one hand, begging for negotiations with Trump, on the other hand, ruthlessly suppressing domestic citizens. Trump seems to have seen through this stalling tactic. Although Iran has cut off the internet and phone communications to hide crimes through the Starlink satellite system, horrifying images of bodies piled up in hospitals are still leaking to the outside world. Desperate cries for help demanding freedom and liberation for Iran are ringing out everywhere. This brutality further solidifies Trump's determination to make a powerful punitive decision. He is reviewing hourly reports, and in order to attack Iran's command center is perhaps only a matter of time. Based on the data regarding Russia withdrawing high-level diplomatic staff and the frequency of hourly reports Trump is receiving, I predict that an attack order will be issued within the next 48 hours. The first targets will be key military command facilities and Iran's radar systems to pave the way for subsequent airstrikes. On the South Korean side, when the guns start firing, chaos will engulf the Korean community in the Middle East due to the lack of prior evacuation plans. This will lead to a wave of fierce criticism aimed at the administration and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of South Korea, causing a domestic political crisis. The government will have to hastily charter commercial planes at exorbitant costs or rely on allies to rescue citizens, but everything may be too late compared to other nations. Today's story is a starkly contrasting picture between Trump's decisiveness, the sharpness of powers like Russia, and the alarmingly slow response of the South Korean government in the face of war risk. It shows us that on the geopolitical chessboard, information and preparation are the boundary between life and death. The safety of thousands of citizens cannot be left to luck or cumbersome administrative procedures. What do you think about the South Korean government's reaction compared to other nations? Is this silent strategic calmness or deadly negligence? Please leave your analytical comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the Eskandre channel to continue updating the hottest developments regarding the Middle East tinderbox.